Let's get F2 on the road. Welcome to Le Mans as F2 goes racing around France in PRL for the first time. And what a venue it is. Well, it's known for its endurance, but today we do 30 minutes of qualifying around this historic long circuit, meaning the gaps will be bigger, meaning that the challenge is much harder than what we're used to around other racing venues. We take a look at this circuit. We've got 2 main straights and hard braking zones, meaning that there can be contact, there can be all sorts, but that's coming up in the races. We're setting the grid first of all around this circuit. That one chaos to turn 1 though, absolutely possible, as we see cars going side by side from time to time, and it could lead to contact. Going on to one of the main straights, before we get down to the chicane, we can go 3 wide, we can even go 4 wide. Well, in these cars, with how small they are on roadblocks, even 6 wide could be possible. But that is going to need something crazy to happen throughout this weekend. And then through the chicane, as you can see in one of the thumbnails later on this weekend, we can see cars 4 wide in the chicane, and they will definitely be investigated if we do see any of that dirty driving. However, we've got a car on the circuit, as you can see. We've got Pal out there right now, and they're all setting times, or they're all trying to. If you invalidate around the circuit, then it's going to mean that you've got a big task to try and catch back up. We have got cars, as I mentioned, out there on the circuit with, unfortunately this weekend, it seems like the timer not working. Now, we've had to make a few settings adjustments before this weekend. So I've had to adjust that, and I think it might have glitched everything. So we'll try and get that fixed for tomorrow, of course, for both races. Right now, though, we're going to just qualify. The timing board is working. That is the good thing, at least. So we watched them come over the line then. And down towards the first few corners. Here is Pal, the British driver, making his way through. Right now, 4th in the championship with 92 points as he tries to hit 100 this weekend. So Pal making his way through as well. We'll need to sort out a bit of the lag as well on this circuit. Not only for the drivers, but for us in spectating. It's not lagging while I'm driving. It's lagging while I'm spectating cars. Maybe because they're lagging themselves, but also combined with of how what speed they're running at, which is very, very high indeed. We'll quickly bring you to the intro screen. It looks like people have disappeared. People have disappeared from the timing page, or spectating mode, I should say. So I'll quickly get back in the game, and we'll get that back working as I get in the game. Now here we go. We've got everyone back. So, we take a look now at Note, as he attacks his way through it. So, it's Harrison with a 2-minute 35. So, not the 4-minute that Note was talking about earlier. Not the 4-minute that he was talking about earlier. We've also got, for this weekend, a new FIA. Cam Silverstone joins us as part of the FIA team for Formula 2. And, of course, for Formula 1 as well, which will be getting a broadcast next season. So, you'll see more of him in that. But he is going to be a steward alongside me as I continue to combine the commentary duties with my FIA role for Formula 2, along with also a bit of the media stuff I do. As you take a look on the circuit, so yeah, Cam is learning all the way through. He's learning all the way through this session, and of course across the weekend. So he's already had to do an investigation before the weekend got underway. I told him that, well, you don't usually see too many on-track cases. But yeah, with off-track, you see more off-track cases usually. But I think with on-track, he's going to be strict with these drivers, not letting them get away with anything. Meaning that if they're running wide, they're doing all sorts, they're getting punished for that. In the race. While I'm commentating, I might not be able to notice it in the race fully, or be able to do anything about it in the race. It does mean that he will be, well, they will all be punished throughout the race as well. So we could get penalties before we finish the contest, which is always amazing to see, knowing what is going to happen. We're already 8 minutes into this session, which is absolutely unbelievable to say. As we mentioned, gaps are probably going to be big. They are already, it seems, a little bit big. We've got 2 lap times on the board. You've got, or 3 lap times on the board, but I think Jaden's one could be an out lap. Now the thing around this circuit is, if you make a mistake around this circuit, then you are basically sacrificed all the way through. And also, it does mean that you have to do a long lap around this place to start another lap. So, Cameron, usually for the admin, you need to put their, not the display name. That doesn't usually work with this admin unless their display name is the same. You'd need to put their actual username, a bit of their username, to watch. Then this timing system would work in terms of the quali mode, race mode setting and all that. That will hopefully work tomorrow. It's because I added you. I think that might have glitched something else in the settings, so I'll need to change that for tomorrow. And then also, of course, if you're saying messages to the drivers, you can just do semicolon H and then put the message. So you can do semicolon and then a semicolon H and then of course the driver and whatever message you'd like on the circuit. 21 minutes on the clock to go. Drivers are
Xbox out. You can't click off them unless you. Yeah. What the fuck do you mean? I mean, you're allowed as long as it doesn't count.
So okay. We're already seeing a driver rage at the new FIA.
Like 5 drivers. Oh, look, Harrison's doing it right now, and he's not going to get a win. What the fuck?
So, drivers already getting a bit annoyed at the new FIA. They say that we are working on it as well. Well, all of this is being captured on the stream, so drivers can appeal. Of course, all decisions won't be perfect as it is Roblox, meaning that if it was a lag crash or if there was something else, then drivers, of course, can appeal. But yeah, Cam, we do have our own corner cut system, which you can, of course, see on the, well, you should be able to see, hopefully, where all the drivers' names are. So, Jaden, of course, with Drila, you can see their laps and you can see their corner cuts as well. Are you on phone? You might be on phone, possibly. Because I think that would take away lots of the screen. It's basically where all of the names would usually be. Like, for example, in Houghton as well, where you can see the user list. Next to it has laps and then corner cuts. Or if you can't see it, then of course the stream has it on the normal PRL channel. All broadcasts are on the PRL channel in terms of Formula 2. So right now we take a look on the circuit. But yeah, some work will need to be done overnight, which I'm going to do which I'll probably do after Houghton, in terms of getting this place even more ready. It is the first race. I mean, Las Vegas had issues in real life when they first went there. We are having a couple of issues as well in terms of getting everything up and running. We'll get the timing system all running. We'll try reduce a bit of the lag where we can, get rid of a bit of unnecessary things. And oh, big moment at high speed, and round goes Bella. A big moment at high speed. She'll continue on though. And the Trident of note will continue to put his foot to the floor over these bumps, which there was a request earlier about, I'd say a month or two ago, about, can we get rid of the bumps, please? But it is Le Mans. It's there in real life. It's not really a Roblox specific thing. While they are probably going to cause issues, I think in F1, they should hopefully be fine unless you're going side by side, which then maybe it can lead to some
for
chaos.
fuck's sake, I've just fucked up another lap. For fuck's sake, it's so fucking annoying. One lap,
So
slide is just like 3 minutes of time just wasted.
So into the braking zones, we've had a lot of talk about possible drivers like Harrison struggling to slow down the cars when the cars are going over 400. You're gonna get a lot of that going on throughout this weekend. Very fast cars going into hard braking zones in Formula 1 is gonna be very interesting. For Formula 2, of course, all equal machinery. It's not even like real life where there's a lot struggling in terms of that. So Bella's got a track limit warning. I think she must have rejoined. It says 0 laps for her. Then that's interesting. Or actually, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Well, she's making her way to the second sector right now. Anyway, this is how the grid looks so far. It's been that wild that you've got Harrison on pole, Pal in second, Logo in third, Note in fourth, Jaden in fifth, and Bella right now in sixth with no time. We said the gaps would be big. You've got Harrison with a 2 minute 35.4, Pal with a 2 minute 39.1, Logo with a 2 minute 40.4. Note with a 2 minute 45.5, Jaden with a 6 minute 49.1. So he is really
What a
struggling.
lap time by Jaden.
So as Bella goes up to 5th position to demote Jaden down another position. So Jaden goes down to 6th, and I mean, the student account was trying to hype up the Formula 2 Championship earlier on by saying, well, look, the gap's only 44 points. If Jaden misses the feature race, then I mean, the possibilities are endless. Well, to be fair, there is a chance of it all happening. In terms of him not scoring, lots of points, and yeah, there is definitely a huge possibility. Right, another driver then not liking Cam, as Bella's been given some track limits. Jaden goes quickest of all. He was struggling to find the lap. Jaden though has done it, and he has taken provisional pole for the moment. So for all the talk about, just possibly take a look at this. About how he was struggling down there in last position. Something that we haven't seen all season long. Even when he's been struggling, it's always been third, fourth. Not in last though. And he was facing that for a moment, but he's gone on to, oh no, big moment on the circuit. Big moment. And round goes Bella and Jaden. And that is going to the stewards for sure. As Bella and Jaden have a crash down the straight, and we're not even into racing. So yeah, Cameron. In terms of, oh, Jaden stopped on the circuit and another incident. And this will need to bring out the red flag. Well, I think we'll need to call out the red flag. I'll get Cameron on that. Well, they've got going, so a temporary yellow unless Bella can get going. So yeah, the red flag system won't work. You'll need to do it in H, I think. So that system won't work for today. It usually does work, but it has glitched.
What happened? What corner? I need information, because if not, we're ready to a corner high speed.
Is it red flag or not?
So
yeah, well, that's what we want to know.
Red flag, then we are going to call it out. So red flag will be out. A bit of confusion with how the systems are going right now. Out here. Of course, me having to give it to Cam has now glitched it. So we'll need to fix that overnight. But the red flag is out. Hold on, I think the issue was I didn't perm rank Cam. So he wasn't able to do any admin commands. There we go. Now you should have permanently admin, hopefully. And then does that keep it up here? Let me try that.
Fuck's sake, the red flag was called out when I was at turn 1, so I just about got my lap in.
So yeah. Anyway, continuing on with what I was saying in terms of qualifying. Yeah, Cam. In terms of corner cuts, we already have an automatic system for that. In the race, though, it will need some policing in terms of if the system detects that we've got. So if you watch, of course, my stream on the PRL channel, if the system detects, like for example, if they've had we'll both to decide a set number for Formula 2 over the night for both races, and then let's say if they get to 6 or maybe 8 or 10, whatever we decide in the race, that's when you of course give a 5-second or however much penalty in the race. Yeah, that's how that works. So
Yeah.
we'll just wait for Pal to get back into the pit lane. Then the green light can go back on around this circuit. So it didn't seem like that Bella and Jaden were going to get going without either one of them having to get out of the car. So just for safety, I think it was best to call the red flag anyway, even though right now there is no as Bella and Jaden to be investigated. For anyone who of course can't see the messages, unless it's an exciting moment, I will be reading out the messages. For example, right now, nothing going on. So if anyone can't see them, then you won't miss out. And then I'll try say them at the most earliest opportunity I can. But yeah, with how exciting the racing can be at times, it will be interesting. Bella saying I don't like you to the FIA. Well, I mean, Bella, to be fair, both drivers' names are given if they've had a crash for investigation, no matter who's at fault. So it might be Jaden getting the penalty, who knows? Might be Bella, who knows? It's just that thing. So yeah, people might not like him from the warnings, but he didn't understand that. He's now understood. But of course, a crash is a crash. It's going to be investigated. And then it will be determined whether anyone is at fault, who was on lap times possibly. All of that will be discovered as well. Cam's also had to be working on an F1 case as well earlier. Bella continuing to say, don't like Cam. Cam responding with good for you. Interesting stuff. Well, yeah, I don't think many drivers will be liking him. Oh, and now Bella's telling the FIA to shut up. Okay, well, green light can go back on. If you use Cam, if you use colon, I think the message will stay there. In terms of if it's like,
What's an idiot? He just turns in.
so if you use the colon, if it's like green or red and you need the message to stay, then maybe use colon N. Well, Bella being warned to not continue, or there will be consequences. Getting loud to the FIA. Not what we want to see. To be fair, Jaden's being the good one in this situation for once. Of waiting for the decision. Then the complaining will come after that. So that will be an interesting thing that will be investigated. Of course, we captured it on the stream. So we captured, of course, the crash.
Surprised he's not crying because
So
it is a shit driver. So surprised he's not crying or saying he's got illness or something.
right, continuing on, then, and actually focusing on this qualifying session, even though it might be Le Mans where the laps are bigger than where it usually is. Well, it's not the 4 minute that Note was telling us earlier. It absolutely isn't the 4 minute that he was telling us earlier. Even Bella's lap, like literally the slowest driver right now on the timing page, Bella in 6th, a 2 minute 55. So, not the 4-minute that Notes told us about earlier. Definitely. So, a bit more closer than we expected. And apparently Bella's had another crash on the circuit, which we just missed. I think that was on her own though, so nothing can really be done about that. And Bella's saying, I hate you again. Well, Bella's being very interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, real life drivers probably won't like the FIA in terms of anything, really. Unless when the decision goes in their favour. So, mounting it over the curb then, for Note, absolutely, completely ignoring that it exists. As you should, because that's the fastest line. So, not saying that's the wrong thing, but as we make our way through the corners then, and attack with Note, who's about to make his way down the straight, and a straight which sees plenty already, which has already seen plenty of action in terms of a crash between two drivers, which is absolutely incredible to see in qualifying, but it is Formula 2 in PRL. That is to be expected. So the session will now run to 5:33. So 3 minutes extra. Of course, we don't have the exact timing, but it is something that will be sorted for tomorrow. For today, we'll need to deal with it. Luckily, it's qualifying, so we don't need the timing order and stuff. But it'll be sorted for tomorrow, and the red flag things will work. For now, we're just going to have to use it at the top of screen. And for the drivers who can't see that, they'll just need to listen to me in terms of that. But yeah, it means that the session has got 9 minutes remaining. So 9 minutes to go in the session. Pal currently in third, 2 minute 37.512. Harrison 35.433, I should say, and then Jaden with a 2 minute 34.029. So if Harrison can find some time, he could definitely challenge. But this is the thing around this circuit. Here's the thing, where we are more likely to see a driver find a second out of nowhere compared to other circuits. If it's a short circuit, in 30 minutes they probably executed it all. Here you're having to lap after lap find what's the best line, especially if you've not driven around this circuit so far as well. So they're all having to basically learn as we go along. So that's the interesting thing then. Okay, we're watching Note as he is making his way through right now. 1 minute 6.383 in the second part of the lap. He's right now in the third sector. Jaden has set a personal best in the second sector of a 1 minute 4.050, but that lap will not count because it's invalidated. As we can see, same with Logo. He is improving in the second sector, but won't count due to an invalidation in the first sector. Over the line goes Note, and he finds himself going ahead of his teammate. It's still a Trident in P3, but it's Note who's got ahead of Pal, and it's so close. Note's got a 1 minute 37.21. Pal's got a 2 minute 37.512. I'm so used to saying 1 minute for everything. And look at that! Look at that! And he's extended his time. He's improved his time. And just look at that between Jaden and Harrison. At a circuit which sees a 2 minute 34 lap time right now. You've got Jaden with a 2 minute 34.029. Harrison with a 2 minute 34.079. And that's incredible to see. Harrison's improvement mostly came in that third part of the lap. So the third sector was very good for him, meaning that improvement. So keep an eye for this man, because he is going to be challenging for pole position in this qualifying session with 6 minutes to go on the clock. 6 minutes to go. All to play for these drivers. This is about to get really, really interesting. About to get really, really interesting for all of these drivers. in this session? Well, keep an eye. First and second are both improving. Jaden finding an improvement in the first sector. Harrison finding an improvement in the first sector. Jaden, though, is about averagely 3/10 up. 3/10 between first and second through the first part of the lap. Note in the first sector has set a 53.970. So the Trident man is going to be needing to find an improvement in the second and third sector. The second sector being the longest of the lot. Harrison's backed out of it, so he must have surely invalidated on this lap, as he has allowed his competitor through. Here we go with Jaden. The ART man will see what the second sector is going to look like. Powell's invalidated in the first part of the lap. Logan with a 53.820. That is quicker than what Note has managed on this lap through the first part of the lap. Second sector for Jaden, coming up very, very soon. You can see he's sliding all over the road. This is the thing about this circuit. Every driver is sliding around. So it's all about controlling the car, or at least attempting to control the car. Who is going to be able to find the most grip through these corners? Harrison did invalidate in the second sector. That's why he backed out of it. So he'll go once again. Here we go then. Jaden, right now, is really trying to extract everything. He'll need to find an improvement in the third sector. Well, it is absolutely flat out round this final part of the lap. And then you get your foot down all the way to the line. Let's see whether Jaden can improve his time. At the front of the field, over the line. No, he invalidated in the last sector, meaning that's not possible. He'll push on again. So will Harrison. And we now find ourselves with a situation of both our top two in this qualifying session pushing on and trying to take it further away from each other. This is about to get really interesting. Harrison, formerly championship contender in this season. He was battling with Jaden in the early rounds. Now it's Note who's moved on to second place. Is 44 points away. This championship, though, will have lots of swings and twists all the way through. Now, in terms of penalties for this session, unless you crash, which we've already seen once, and unless drivers block each other, most likely they aren't going to be getting any penalties unless they do anything like that in terms of on the circuit. We've still got the F1 case, so the FIA are still busy enough as it is, because that will be a case that I'm sure, whichever way the result goes, I'm sure that F1 case is going to get appealed. 3 minutes to go. Soon as it hits 5:33 UK time, that is when the session ends, or as we are doing this session in France, 6:33. There we go. Note is improving in the first sector, so we'll need to keep an eye on him as well. So, last lap around, it was Harrison who invalidated. This lap around is Jaden who's invalidated, and that is why the ART driver is out of the way. Keep an eye, though, on Note, because he'll try his absolute best to improve his advantage and take it away from Powell, meaning that if Powell does find an improvement, that Powell isn't able to take P3 away. First, second sector, decent, but he'll need to find some more, or continue this lap at least, in the third sector. If he can do so, he might put a bit of a challenge on for P3. We've got a crash on the circuit being reported, and that is Bella. She'll get back going, so everything will be okay, but it was that an unsafe rejoin. A Trident was coming, and that Trident was Powell, who is still going to keep his foot in, who is still going to cross the line. Over the line we go, as we see Note improve his time, Powell improves his time. Well, they both improved their time, but nothing doing there for them. So Jaden, it wasn't an invalidation last lap, it was actually a mistake. So that's why he backed out of it, due to a major mistake. Here comes Harrison up towards the line. Has he been able to find anything in the third sector? No, he's invalidated. Well, I don't know how much. Well, it depends how the clock is going to go.
Oh, what the fuck? That fucking BWT, wherever the Arden, I think it is.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, just nearly took. I fucking got a collision. It cost me so much time.
So that will be investigated for sure. We got that on. Yeah, we definitely got that on camera there, and I did mention in commentary as well a few moments ago that an unsafe rejoin. Well, Cam will be the person to answer that question after the session, or even in this session, but we only got a minute after this to go. Notes improving in the first sector. And the question is, can the drivers make it round? Now, the disadvantage everyone's got is you don't know. You have absolutely no clue when this is going to change over. I'm going to quickly try and see if I can get Yeah, it is. We don't know when it's going to change over. So this could be the last lap for some drivers and they may make it over the line with... So Harrison's invalidated in the first sector. Jaden's improving in the first sector. Is he going to be able to make it round? Don't think he will. He's not going to be able to do it. So Harrison will start second at best. So it's hit 33. And Harrison will find himself starting in second. Over to the rest of the field. Don't think Powell will be able to do anything. Note's improving anyway. Let's see. We join Note, who will try his best. Logo's pushing on in the first as well. Bella's had a slow first sector on this lap. Don't know if she's even in a car. The spectating thing is not allowing us to click on her. So that might explain a bit of the story. Here is... Well, it's been a close qualifying session in terms of... Jaden was under threat and Harrison knew that he had to improve. Notes invalidated in the second sector. So, well, the only real thing we can do now in this session is just wait for Jaden to come across the line and see whether he improves his time. Everyone's out of the way. The car ahead, perfectly out of the way. That is absolutely brilliantly done by Harrison in the Prima. The only thing that can deny Jaden pole position will be a steward's decision, so it could go down to the stewards later on today. It could go down to the stewards later on today. That's the only thing that can right now deny Jaden. So possibly Harrison is staring at 2 points for pole if Jaden is deemed at fault. I was looking away at the time. I only saw the aftermath, so I don't know who's at fault. But if Jaden is at fault, then that means that we could see, as Jaden comes across the line, well, it's not improvement at the end, it was an invalidation, but Jaden has done enough. For now, at least, provisionally, he has grabbed the 2 points for pole, and he will start the feature race on Sunday from P1 as we go racing around France for the first time in PRL F2. Well, that's just for the socials in case we need that. But, yeah, provisionally.
So tight, the whole session. The whole session. Fucking hell. Am I closer to Harrison, right, in Le Mans than Austria? Just saying.
Well, it might mean, if everyone can keep it out of the walls, it might mean we could get an interesting race tomorrow. Because it's closer than we thought. It wasn't the 4 minute that Note was saying.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't before, but I knew.
Yeah, that's what Note told us. Well, let's see if we can quickly speak. We'll need to go off air because I'll probably... So, we'll try to see if we can find our pulse setup.
F1 practice is until midnight. It starts now, so after resets and all that stuff.
Yeah. So Cam, of course, you'll be going Houghton, I'll be going Houghton. So it's just basically, it's not really a proper session. It's just everyone can practice till 12. So no need to worry about anything with that.
Form shooter. That was sort of seeming form.
Well, we've got Note wanting to try speak to us. Let's see. We might speak to him tomorrow. I'm trying to get our pulse sitter there, as Cam's driving a bit of F2 cars himself. What are you under investigation for? For the crash. We don't know whose fault it is, whether it's yours or Bella, but that is basically what's going to be investigated. Anyway, can we... where is Jaden? Okay, alright, he's trying to come to us. So yeah. We'll quickly grab an interview with Jaden and then we'll wrap it up there for today. Well, hello Jaden. So, I'll unmute you quickly. So, how was that session for you then, Jaden? Oh, okay, never mind. Well, in chat then, how was that session for you? Yeah, I think everyone really could have gone faster in this type of session. Well then, can you explain to us, is it closer than you thought it would be around this circuit? With everyone not being able to find 100%, it could lead to some very chaotic races on tomorrow and on Sunday as well. Okay. Well, we wish you the best of luck for the sprint and the feature race. And yeah, we'll see what the investigation is. I'll go, of course. Me and Cam will go talk about it and see what we can, what is going to happen with that. But yes, that is going to wrap it up on Friday for Formula 2. 2 points for pole, provisionally going to Jaden. If there is a penalty, it might change around, but we'll need to see about that later on. But tomorrow's sprint race comes up at 11 AM. We'll see you then when Formula 2 returns.